You everyone for being here. UAB's coming off a 35-20 victory over Rice in what ended up being the longest game in program history, 6 hours and 15 minutes, endured two 1.5-hour rain delays. But with that, I'll turn it over to Coach Clark as we head to UTSA this weekend. 1-1 in conference play and 4-1 overall.
Thank you, Ted. Morning, guys. What a night, First getting behind early, just really proud of the way the guys fought, and of course the offense really played well early on and kind of kept us in it till the defense could go in there and make some adjustments at halftime, which turned into an extended half. Really one of the wildest games I've been part of, but really proud of the staff and the players for staying focused and making good adjustments at the halftime and through the delays, coming back, handling themselves, doing the things they needed to do. And I think we finished up those last 6 minutes at about 11:55 p.m. was when we started. So after midnight to finish it up has made for an interesting weekend, but really proud of all of them, really just the focus, the work, and keeping their heads up and about them. Going to UTSA, always a tough environment to go play at their place, really loud, a lot of noise, and having played there before is always interesting. Coach Wilson, those guys really came off a really good win. They lost their quarterback against North Texas, and the backup came in and played real well. I think they kind of adjusted and are doing the things that fit him. They played really solid defense, good in the kicking game. So once again, another tough conference game, and here we go again on the road. So just back at it. Questions?
Bill, what did you learn from the first road game that you can use?
Yeah, I think anytime you go on the road and in the conference is different, Like we said before, I think, there were some things about that game, that we would love to have back. And, you just look at individual performances, from a turnover standpoint, which has not really been characteristic of us. But I think just what does a road conference game look like, how important it is, et cetera. But we have been on the road already to Akron, so you put all those things together, and you just, as I always say, you got to be better on the road.
How impressed were you with the way that the guys handled that Saturday? That's not an easy thing to handle, I wouldn't think.
It was, and I'm such a stickler for details, and and how they are in the locker room leading up to the game, and it was one of those things where I had to make a decision, and we made a decision. I'm not going to just sit over and watch their every move. We had to let them relax a little bit, and then it kind of got into, okay, every time we'd turn up to get ready, all right, let's get ready, we're going back out, we'd get another delay. So I think one of the things is the strength staff, our nutrition staff, keeping those guys hydrated, keeping them fed, because that's what happens over a long period of time. You're burning up all those calories, and we got to replenish them. So we were, I think, pretty prepared for that. You can always be more prepared, but I think we handled that well. But I was proud of them, to come back out and especially to play really well, and then obviously the wet conditions. I mean, we had no balls on the ground, we had no turnovers, we had no bad snaps. We had to snap the ball from punt formation multiple times. Our punter did a great job, our snapper, so those are the little things that don't always get noticed unless you have a problem, and we didn't. So really proud of that.
What did you feed the guys?
Everything you can think of that was in there, every nutrition, we keep bars in there. It's really funny how that's changed. And, Joe, you've been to our practices before, and we actually feed them in our breaks, and that's something I've been doing for a while, where we actually give them some things during practice, whether it's pickle juice or, gummy bears or some of them are eating pretzels. And, so it's kind of that same habit of a game that we do a lot of nutrition bars and things like that. So they were staying fed and hydrated,
Did anyone take a nap?
Maybe so. I mean, there might have been some guys over there taking a nap. They probably could have during that. That's what was so weird. You'd get tense back up. All right, let's go. We're going back out for the game, and all of a sudden we got another delay. And then by the end, you're thinking, all right, what's going to happen if this thing gets past midnight? And I, of course, Coach Bloomgren being a competitor like he is, I didn't blame him one bit for not giving in and wanting to fight to the end and see the thing out. I think if we'd have got past midnight, there would have had to been some decisions made. But glad we got it in, and there was no what ifs. It just got ended the right way.
So, real quick, you mentioned gummy bears are actually good for you?
These are nutritional gummy bears. So these are, I don't know what all's in there, but but our nutritionists provide them. But they're, I think that's the thing. Really, you just start talking about calories. And it's funny how we've gone from. And I still remember in the early '70s being a manager for my dad, and he was doing quick kick, and then all of a sudden he gets out of coaching, and I got a coach who don't even give us water, and I said, what is it? What happened here, But we got a lot smarter and started figuring out what that looked like, and it's really transformed into really actually feeding them during the game, which is just, if you think about you feed them 4 hours before game time, but as soon as we get there, a lot of them are eating bars, and then we're trying to give them bars at halftime or whatever those things are. So, the game's changed a lot, and we're just so into their health and nutrition and keeping them hydrated and fed. I think it's really just a part of that. But, you're looking at how long has it been since they had a real meal, which, what was that, 6 hours or something like that. So all that goes together.
Specifically in the second half, the defensive line played really well for you. Look at a guy like Tony Fair, hadn't been a lot of talk about him. What are your thoughts on him throughout this season, and especially after this last week where he had a big game?
That's one of the things with Tony. He's really so quick and nimble for his size, and I think that was one thing even I was surprised about. We challenged Tony this week, and we just, Coach Tatum did a good job, so we got to have more production out of you, and he stepped up to the challenge. And we always come back on Sunday, and it's funny when, because you guys aren't at practice, but when a guy that's really challenged, Lucius was challenged this week, so, it's funny when we say, hey, we need more out of you. You got to produce more, which is what happened with Tony, and all of a sudden you see it, So that's my time to go to the coaches, hey, it is good to push them, and it is good to make them better and hold them to a standard, and he played well.
And within that, you got 4 fumble recoveries in that game, and you got 8 fumble recovery, second to nation anyways. What's it like having more fumbles than kind of interceptions? Because it seems to kind of turned from the last few years where you've been more active in the secondary from that aspect.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just how things go sometimes, But I think for us, this was very intentional. We made a big point of emphasis this week on takeaways, and to see them go out there and do it. And if you saw our sidelines when we got some of those takeaways, like Chris Moll ripping that ball out, and it was something to see. It just as a coach, it brings tears to your eyes to see guys get that excited about something we worked so hard to do. And we made it such a big point of emphasis. And then they do, what you ask. And Chris Moll, if there's somebody that's better at tackling somebody and getting a takeaway at the same time, I'd like to see him because he's really good at it.
I guess, was it more satisfying because Ross come in and I believe they had only 3 turnovers?
Yeah.
Season,
Yeah, they were really, their whole game plan and offense was around ball security and not turning it over, not beating themselves, and then for us to go in there. And these were not, I think we had, one bad snap, one that was probably attributed to the rain, but the rest was things we made happen, and that's what you want to see as a coach.
How did that change? You said it changed the weekend, the long game. How did it change? Did you get some sleep that night at all?
Not much. I think it was about 2 a.m., and then, I'm back in here at whatever time in the morning, you just, because you got your routine of grading our film and then working on the next opponent. And, that's the tough thing about night games. It just, as a coach, you'd love to have that early game and have a chance to catch your breath and then go into that next game. So, literally I was back in here probably 6 o'clock Sunday morning looking at us, grading us, and then you start getting ready at the opponent. And I think I'm still feeling some effects today of that. But it just kind of affects the rest of your schedule. And so, my concerns are always rest for the players. And sometimes on Monday morning we'll do good, bad, ugly and get it out of the way. But today I just, just like Western Kentucky, it would have been counterproductive, so we didn't do it.
You had a quick update Saturday night about Spencer. Is there any kind of news to him? And from that, how do you approach the running back position going forward for the next couple of games with him? Do you do it back committee, or do you do it more of a hot hand? Because like Lucius came out Saturday and had the hot hand, and you kind of rode him there.
Yeah, so if I'll answer that question last, I think, that's kind of what it is. We kind of consider all those guys kind of co-starters, especially now. Hayden, Lucius, we should be getting Larry Wooden back soon. Smoke.
Jermaine Brown.
Yes, Jermaine Brown. No, he's Skull. I'm sorry, I remember his wrong nickname. Skull, we got another Smoke. So Jermaine Brown, our freshman, has been doing a good job as well. So So kind of committee, who's the hot hand there. Hayden, is the vet of the group, but we've had Lucius for a while too, so really good to see him step up. Good news on Spencer, it's not his foot, it's not broke, so it's just going to be how quick can he get back, and I think in his mind he's going to be back this week, so we'll just have to see, how long it'll take.
Was it the same foot as last year?
I don't even know because it's not his foot, so
Oh, it's just kind of
yeah, around the ankle,
But all positive going forward at this
Yeah, I mean, we're just thankful it's not broke. We X-rayed it, and so it's just, and some of those things can take some time, but it's not foot. He's not out for the year. He was first guy in here yesterday getting treatment, so we'll just have to see. It'll be a day to day. He thinks he's going to play, so we'll go from there.
Any other questions for Coach?
Good? All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll move Tyler Johnson, quarterback, up to the podium. Tyler had a day off from his internship, so he was able to attend our press conference. He's thrown for 1,209 yards and 11 touchdowns this season. So with that, we will open it up for questions for Tyler.
Well, since Ted mentioned it, where are you interning at?
I'm doing it at the eye care down the street on University.
Okay, cool.
How's that going?
It's going great. I'm working with Dr. Waz, and she's a great lady. She's taught me a lot right now. I'm just working my hardest for her, whatever she wants me to do.
Why go that route? Is that something that's within the family, or just something you've always had an interest about, or?
So I'm doing healthcare management, and there's some type of healthcare in there. And the work around football with my schedule, I think that was my best fit, really. And I'm getting all my hours in with her in the morning and trying to get it good with all, as in rehab and everything else. I got to fit all the hours in somehow.
So do you have the answer for insurance woes?
So,
Do you have the answer for all the insurance woes, insurance that we all
oh yeah, that's I've been doing insurance, and that's something I've been doing, and I mean it's kind of cool just knowing how to do it and everything else. But I mean, I don't.
Well,
I'm still learning.
Going back to football, you got these, these three receivers. You got the big three, Arnold and the rest of these guys. How do you feel, the chemistry has continued to grow this season, as well as Marcus Grossman, who's really stepped up as a clutch third down receiver this season?
Yeah, Marcus, he's a great wide receiver. He's came in every game almost and making one great play, and I mean, or two or three. But I think he's coming along. I mean, first year here, he's doing great, and he's really a team player too. I mean, everybody hangs around him, everybody likes him. But I mean, all four of them really, they work together, they practice hard together, and then just play hard together.
What are you doing during those breaks as a quarterback in the game?
What do you mean breaks? Like,
The lightning.
oh, I mean, just talking them up, just keep their energy going. I mean, you don't want them just to be sluggish when you get back out there. But I mean, everybody's really just chilling because it kind of got to 30 minutes to an hour to an hour and a half, and I mean, it's kind of hard staying up whenever you're going. It keeps on getting longer and longer. But I mean, I just talking to coach, seeing what our game plan is, going right back out there. But just making sure we got ball security with the rain and everything else, and just getting ready to play again.
What did you eat?
I think I had me a little Rice Krispie, but that's something I was starving. It got to about 12 o'clock, and I was ready to eat, but I just had to give me a little snack.
Rice Krispie treat?
A Rice Krispie treat.
You're pretty confident quarterback, as well as you take a lot of shots down the field. A lot of them are real successful, but the past two games you've had 6 interceptions. What's kind of the risk versus reward in that, in the way that you see it, in taking those shots?
I would say I'm aggressive about throwing down the field, but I gotta be more smarter. There's some of them that, I mean, the first one is definitely on me. Second one, really lucky, but I mean, that's just another interception. But I just gotta be more smarter going down the field. But with all a couple passes that we get to do complete. I mean, they're 50-50 balls, most of them. And, I mean, if there's some of them, I would love to put them more out there. But I guess going on to the next game and just keep playing. Can't worry about it, really.
So it's kind of a thing you can check off pretty easily.
Kind of, not really. I can't. I mean, I talked to Coach Vincent, talked to Coach Clark. I mean, they really don't like them either, but they know that most of them 50-50 balls when you're throwing it up. Let Austin and Meyer go get it, and I mean, we'll just. I kind of just got to don't worry about it anymore, really.
You're still gonna have green light to throw it downfield?
I mean, whatever works for us, whatever they give us, we'll take, really.
Any other questions for Tyler? All right, we got time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll move Sydney Wells up to the podium. Right tackle, Sydney Wells has started all 5 games this year. So with that, we will open it up for questions for Sydney. You can ask the OL with the A during the break.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, so I'll ask you the same question. During the Lightning delays, what are the offensive line eat? Really hungry?
Majority of us really ate goldfish. I know me, since they all ran out of them, I had the Belvita blueberry wheat crackers. That's what I ate, and we just all tried to stay hydrated with water and Gatorade.
What was that second half like? Because obviously this year y'all have done a lot more pass protection, thrown the ball a lot more than in past years. What was it like in that second half, being able to just kind of grind down and just run the ball?
Definitely, I'd say kind of simplify things. You know, you can just be ready to come off the ball at any time because you know that the play calling has been simplified. So it's been kind of, I liked it. I personally enjoyed it. So.
How challenging was it to kind of keep focused through all that delay stuff? Because you know the old thing, the less you do, the less you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I would say that it really wasn't that challenging because we all had that goal, that mindset to stay together, and we had teammates constantly reminding us to, you know, stay focused because the game is not over. We still have business to take care of. So.
What was Tyler doing during all that time? He said he was kind of talking you guys up.
He was talking us up, and he was staying with the game plan, talking to Coach Vincent. So.
How proud are you of the way you guys managed that? Because that's so unique. I mean, to go through something like that.
I was really proud. I was proud of how we all gelled together. You know, offense, defense, special teams. We all came together. I was very proud of that. You know, we all needed each other.
Anything else for Sydney? All right.
Thank
Sydney.
y'all.
All right, everybody, thank you for being here. Same time, same place, next Monday. Next Monday is our Children's Harbor week.